Hi, good evening. Good evening. We're back for another show. Coach Thomas, how are you this evening?
I am great, Candy, and we got to do the opening though.
We do. So,
We got to
welcome
do the,
back to another show. New night, new show, the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. Let's do that
uh,
first.
Thursday night edition.
Yes. All right. Now, welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. We are talking all things sports, student athletes, coaches, recruitment, all of that jazz. And now we can talk about how we're doing. I was so excited to get into tonight's show. I actually skipped over the introduction, but that's what happens when we're live. So,
Exactly. And see, really, the truth of the matter, Candy was just so excited about seeing me. She haven't seen me in a week, so
it
you
has, listen, it has been wonderful seeing you just now.
I meant to do this last week, and you'll know in a minute, Candy. I want to give a shout out to my young cousin, Jalen Wade, who is a huge Candy Night fan.
Shout out to
So,
Jalen. He was so
what's up,
sweet.
Jalen? What's up,
Hi,
Jalen?
Jalen. Thank you for watching.
But Candy, we have an interesting, very good show tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and get started and bring in our first guest, our student athlete, and he is Mr. Braylon Owens. And good evening, sir.
Good evening. How y'all
Hi,
doing?
Braylon. Thank you for joining us tonight. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. So we're talking all things basketball tonight. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, the school that you play for, your classification, and your position.
My name is Braylon Owens. I play for Anadarko High School, class of 2000 or 2023, and I'm a guard.
Okay, and what state are you in?
Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. And your guard. All right. So, Braylon, tell me about how you got your start in basketball.
Um, I don't really know how to start. It started when I was just playing outside with cousins, and I found a league here in Anadarko when I was in sixth grade, and that's when I started playing.
Okay. So, what is your favorite part about basketball then?
I like playing defense.
Mm,
Good.
okay.
Who's your favorite player?
Kevin Durant.
KD.
Durant. That seems to be is it Kevin Durant or yeah, Kevin Durant seems to be the majority favorite of the basketball players that come on here.
He's definitely one of the top ones. Yeah.
What is it about Kevin Durant that you like, Braylon? Why Kevin Durant? Why not LeBron James? And shout out to Space Jam opening tomorrow.
That's
I'm going to see
right. I'm going to have to check it out too this weekend.
it. We should have tried to get a commercial, but anyway, why you like Kevin Durant, Braylon?
He can do everything on the court. He can dribble. He can shoot. He can drive. He can finish at the basket. It's like nothing you can do to guard him. You just got to try to contain him.
Okay. I like that. All right. So, let's talk high school. You're heading into your junior year. What are you expecting this coming season?
A bigger role on the team than I had last year. Last year, I was just a defender, a spot up shooter, and I really started getting my role through the season with the seniors really helping me and pushing me to become what I am.
Okay, sounds good to me. And college, are you thinking you want to play in college or in the future you want to go pro? What's your end goal?
I want to go pro.
Okay, all right. And what team? If you could play for any team, who would you choose?
Any team that'd be grateful to have me.
I like that answer. That's such a gracious response.
Let me ask you this question, Braylon. Why do you want to go pro?
Good question.
I want to make sure my mom and dad don't have to work no more.
Oh, that's a sleep. That's fine.
That's a noble reason. Any other reason?
Just to be on TV, just playing.
Well, I'm see. What I'm trying to get you to say, Braylon, is I love the game. That's why I want to go pro. I love the game.
You want to play full time? That to be your job.
Yeah, let's do this again. Why you want to go pro, Braylon?
I love the game.
There you go.
We love the game.
You love the game.
So, what is it that pulls you to basketball in comparison, I guess, to any other sports?
I don't know. I really just love it. I'm in it every day. Something about it is just different.
Okay, and we heard that you're pretty amazing at it as well. Do you have a defining moment or a story or something that really like stood out to you?
Yeah, my first start this year, I had 18 points. We
lost
the game, but it was probably one of my best games this year.
Awesome. And I know we're definitely going to see a lot more of that this coming school year too. Are you guys practicing already to get ready for the fall?
Yeah.
Or I guess the end of the fall season for you guys, you get started up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did the COVID affect you guys this year at all, or how did it?
Not this year. None of our players tested positive.
Oh, that's awesome.
During the season, but like right after the season ended, we had like 2 players get it.
Yeah. But everyone's good, right? Everyone's fine and healthy.
Yes.
Now, okay, good to hear. All right. So, what has been one of your biggest challenges?
One of my biggest challenges, just the gyms not being open all the time, not being able to get in there like I want to. That's really it.
Okay.
Who is your biggest inspiration in your family?
In my family, probably my dad. Really.
Is your dad an athlete?
Right.
Yeah.
Did he play?
My dad went to college for football. He played basketball, but he went for football.
Okay. Nice.
What college did Dad go to?
Emporia in Kansas.
Okay. So it runs in the family. Okay. So what advice would you give student athletes who are coming behind you who want to play basketball, who want to do better in their game?
Keep your grades up. That's the main. If you don't got your grades, you can't play. And staying in the gym, working on the things that you're good at, and mostly the things you're bad at. That's gonna get you.
All right. Great words of advice.
Well, Braylon, we are honored to have you on the show tonight. How can fans or friends want to reach you on social media? Why don't you give out your social media, or any college recruiters that are interested in you? Give out your contact information for your social media and how you want them to reach you.
On Twitter, it's just my name, Braylon Owens, BYLONOWENS. It's that for Instagram and Snapchat too.
Okay.
All right.
That is right. Yeah. So thank you again, Braylon, for talking all things basketball with us tonight, our student athlete.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome, young man. Let's take a commercial break so I can drink some of my water, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
Sounds good. All right. We are back. That's right. The Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. We are back, Coach and Kandi, and we just spoke with our student athlete for the evening, Braylon Owens. And now we're going to head into our second half of the show. We're going to talk to a coach. And Coach, I'll let you talk a little bit about him.
Well, before I bring in a coach, I want to give another shout out to a supporter of the Expect to Win Experience, Mr. Dino Smiley and the Drew League. They started back up. Oh my God! I tried to get over there Sunday, and there was no place to park.
Wow! Oh, I already believe it. I believe it.
And from what I understand, James Harden was over there Sunday playing.
Wow.
Swaggy P, God, he was over there. Kanye West was over there.
Crazy.
It was so many people over there, and they have 5 games on Sunday. And every game, the first game is at 10 o'clock. The last game is at 4 o'clock, and we're going to be having, and probably maybe next week or the following week, the new commissioner of the Drew League, which is his daughter.
Nice, that's right. You didn't mention that.
We're going to have her as a guest. So shout out to Big Dino. And the Drew League is doing it. It is doing it.
I love that. So let me ask you, because you may know the Drew League. I know that you said they're playing now, but do they play year round, or when do they stop their games? Because I'm going to have to get out to LA so I can go to one or go to a Sunday.
They play. It goes year round.
Okay.
It goes year round. Yeah, they play one season, and then they go. Then the women play, and then the men play again. So they do it like that.
Okay, sounds good.
But it's a lot of big name players because they're not, at least right now, they're not in their normal gym, which is in Watts.
Okay, gotcha.
And they can't, because of the school district, they couldn't get back in, so they're at a private school, St. John Bosco, which is actually was the national football champs.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful campus, it's a beautiful school, but the parking sucks.
I can believe that. And then once there's, tons and tons of people there, you can forget. Once you get there early or catch it when people are leaving one game
and the beautiful thing about the Drew League, and I know we're taking a little time, but I'm so proud of Dino.
Absolutely. He was one of our first guests. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's free to get in.
Oh, that's why it's so packed too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's definitely, so people get there early and they stay all day.
I love that. I would be one of those people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know who will pop up in the gym, so that'd be really fun.
You never know. They've been. I think this was the 3rd game because they were off 4th of July weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But every week it's been NBA players coming out.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to have to get out there and get to we'll have to go for sure.
We will be there. We will definitely be there.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
So, sure. All right. I see Coach Mark's name, but I don't see Coach Mark. So we're going to bring Coach Kelly on right now. Coach Kelly.
Hi there.
How y'all
doing? Doing good. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. Before you guys, I just had somebody walk in my office. Come over and say hi to everybody.
Oh, who's our special guest?
Hey.
Shout out to our athlete, superstar.
And here's
hi everybody.
Hi, Jaden.
Then Mariah. Everybody's in my office.
Yes, hi Mariah. Family time.
They just bombarded my office. So this is what happens on live TV, y'all. Anyway, Coach Kelly.
Yes, sir.
We don't see Coach Mark, so we're gonna bring you on. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually home tonight. I'm starting to settle into that rhythm where, you had to make an adjustment to things, and where you got to find that when you got things you got to do every week. There's a rhythm to everything. I'm starting to find that.
Well, good.
You look very relaxed.
And I feel relaxed. I'm not on the go this week. I'm actually supposed to be out in Phoenix, but I have a remote person doing remote viewing and live streaming for me. So this weekend, it's actually a big old tournament that's in Phoenix that lasts an entire week. I've got some coaches looking at some kids, but by the end of this month, I'll be up in Washington State doing another tournament.
Okay, awesome.
Well, we're going to do something. We're going to bring Coach Mark in. If I don't see him, but I see his name, let's see if he's here. Coach Mark, are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
We can
We
hear
hear you,
you.
but we don't see you unless you are a black square. We do not see you.
Well, the thing is I'm in my car driving to my house right now, so that's probably why I'm a black square, because it's dark. I'm back on a back road and there's no light in the car.
Where are you? What city are you in, Coach Mark? What city are you in?
My family and I live in Lorena, Texas. So basically, that's Waco, Texas. We live
Gotcha.
in Lorena, Texas. So
We're having some connection issues.
We are.
So okay. We're gonna take Coach Mark out right now and we'll try to get back to him. Coach Kelly, what do you have for us this week? Me and Kandi will hang with you while you talk because you don't have a lot of time tonight. So
Yeah. Well, the tips that I got, I think a lot of kids get caught up in the recruiting process, and they think it just has to deal with, when you're the immediate part where you're getting courted by the coach, and it goes so much deeper than that. So some of the tips that I have, it goes back, things that are not pertaining to that.
okay. Well, why don't you go ahead? We're going to leave you and let you go ahead and do your thing. And if we can get Coach Mark back, we will. But why don't you go ahead and enlighten us? Coach James Kelly, the third part of the team here at the Expect to Win experience. Uh-oh, I took you out.
All right, this tips that we have this week, we're talking about a lot of things that go beyond just the recruiting process in general when you're in communication with the coach. Number one, things that you need to do off and away from everything that you got going is learn how to communicate with people. Basketball and all other sports deal with relationships that go back and forth between coaches and also their players. So in the recruiting process, that's the time that they actually get to know you. So there's some people out there that know how to talk and some people that don't. And when a coach is recruiting a kid, they don't want to be one-sided. They want to be able to talk to you and get to know you as a person, not just a player and an athlete. So, with that, you guys as student athletes, you're always communicating with people 24/7 with cell phones and things of that nature. Learn how to communicate correctly and appropriately with adults and also coaches. That's your first tip. The second one is to make sure that you get your grades. Grades go way beyond and away from anything that you do in your sport. Of course, your official transcript begins in grade 9 and in your freshman year, and they stay with you for the rest of your life. So, if you're wanting to get recruited by colleges, obviously any grade point average that is a 4.0 or above is desirable. And yes, it is possible to get above a 4.0. The higher grade point average you get, the better, because it allows the school to give you more money, which obviously you want that as an athlete so that you don't have to come out of pocket to pay for those things. So in order to attain those grade point averages, you have to do work away from the field, away from the gym, and you have to be disciplined enough to get those things done. The third thing is to create and develop a work ethic. In your conversations with your coaches, you're always going to be, as you get to know each other, they're going to ask you some things about what you do every day. And some people will put up videos and things of that nature of them working out and stuff like that, but it may be just, don't be fake about it. If you really work out every day, If you get up every day at 6 a.m. and you do have a workout, you have a shooting workout, or if you do batting practice or whatever it is, develop that work ethic, because that's what separates you from anything or any other individuals that are also competing. All of those small things that are going to allow you to get better as a player, and regardless of what sport you're in, it becomes minute a lot of times with coaches and what players they like, what players they don't like. Sometimes players fit the same mold, and it comes down to really small, minute differences. And those work ethics that you develop are really going to be separators when you perform in your particular sport, either on the field or on the floor. So with that being said, you carry that work ethic into your games. And in your games, it is very, very, very important for you to make sure that you carry yourself with the proper character on the floor. There, you have the correct body language. Body language is really key for basketball coaches. They're always watching how you're reacting, because swings can happen in a game, and what is your response to those things. They're watching you when you're on the bench. Are you engaged in the game? Are you cheering on your teammates? Do you cry about every call? Are you hustling on the floor? Are you hustling off the floor? Are you paying attention in the huddles? Are you clowning around? Things of that nature. So make sure that your body language, especially in games, because those times, especially it goes into highlight tapes, those responses are recorded, and you cannot lie in a highlight tape or in a game film. So make sure, even if it gets past a highlight film and coaches ask for a full game film, all of those responses and your body language is going to show. Uh, the last tip that we'll say today is that for any schools who reach out, there has to be a mutual interest. First of all, if you are not interested in a particular school, make sure you let the coach know, so that they know that they can go and find another athlete, and they're not stuck or feel slighted, or no one likes to be left on red. Communicate with that coach, let them know. Before you do that, though, the tip here is research the school, research the coach, research their record, research the history of the school. You may like things that you didn't expect from a coach or a school that reaches out. So make sure you do research. They're researching you, I promise. The first thing that they're going to do is look up your social media and see what your image is like, and your grades and stuff like that. You need to be the exact same on the other end, and research the school so that you can know where you're going and what you're looking at. Online, they have virtual tours, and you can look at the dorm rooms and the facilities and things like that. So make sure you're doing your homework on your end, so that you can separate yourself, because when a coach is talking to you and you start bringing up things about their school, and that shows interest, and it can also help you to attain that scholarship. And that's our tip for this week.
All right, Coach. I want to ask you a question. Um, that was awesome as always. Uh, you said something that really, I think, bears repeating when you said about the work ethic, and to pretty much start now doing what's going to be necessary for you to excel. A lot of young people, they're just coming out of the COVID. A lot of young people struggled in school. And I'm going to bring Kandi in on this also. A lot of young people struggle in school and all of that. What do you say to those young people that are, they trying to get back in the groove and get back into working out? And, these kids have been in the bed, doing work and schoolwork. And now it's like, okay, I'm supposed to get up and actually do some physical work. Uh, I know it sounds good in theory to say, okay, do it. But what do you say to the kid that's struggling to get motivated to get back out and start doing it?
Well, first of all, there's another separator actually that you bring it up, is self motivation is huge, because that self motivation is going to allow you to perform. And the reason why I say that is this: because I'm a coach, I go way deeper into a lot of things than the average person will. So I learned about how habits are formed, how to break habits, and how to develop new habits, because you know it takes anywhere from 21 days to 90 days to end a habit, input a new habit, and then also kick it into automatic. And then there's things that we do subconsciously. About 95% of what you do every day is repeated thoughts or repeated actions, and you don't do it. That's why some people will go on a diet, but then they'll end up going to McDonald's and picking the same thing that they pick all the time because it's a subconscious habit, even though they want to go on a diet. That applies to your athletics also. So what I teach to my kids is when we're working out, what you're doing, it has to be done, number one, at a high speed, just like in a game, because you're going to perform that. And a lot of kids will just go through workouts thinking, oh, I'm just working out, I'm just practicing. Those things that you do in those workouts actually becomes what you do in a game off of reaction. So that's why sometimes people get tired and bored with workouts, but those are what become your reactions in a game. And the best way to be the best athlete is to react off of what you see or what's happening versus having to think and create and things of that nature. You've done a repeated motion so many times over and over and over and over and over. When it gets in a game, it happens instantaneously like that. You've done your move and you finish at the basket, and you did that without thinking. Your body just takes over. So you're training your body to become a machine, and not necessarily a robot, but a machine, in where a trigger happens and the response happens, and you become a top performing athlete because of the work ethic and the work that you put in when nobody was in the gym. And that's the key that I'm talking about whenever I speak on those things.
All right, awesome advice, Coach Kelly. Awesome. Anything you wanted to add, Kandi?
No, I think he said everything.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
Absolutely. Great tips. I think discipline has a lot to do with it as well. I mean, if you really want to succeed and excel in your sport, you got to stay on your game and stay focused on that. So, yeah, great information.
I want to interject. Braylon Owens is one of those kids. He stays in the gym when he's not doing things and helping people. He does fundraising for his own team, his AAU team. He cooks for people in the community.
Wow.
And when he's not doing those things, he goes straight to the gym. Luckily, he lives right by the gym. The gym where we live at is open until midnight every day because the kids respect the gym and the facilities. He stays in the gym, and he like you said, he was a defender because of his size and his athletic ability. Because he stays in the gym so much, he's now a top prospect not only in Oklahoma, but rising to some of the better teams that are in the state. And also on his team, he's the number one guy, and it's because he stays in the gym and he works and works and works and works and works, and it's a tireless work ethic that he had, and he started that early. I'm sure his dad has encouraged him to do that, and he is reaping the benefits early, and it's because of that work ethic that he has.
Well, that is awesome.
It is. And now we'll deal with that. I have something I want to share with you or propose to you, Coach Kelly, because in my mind, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I agree. But I'm also thinking, is it that different for a kid in Oklahoma as opposed to a kid in Los Angeles? There's a whole lot more to do, and there's more distractions in Los Angeles than there are in Oklahoma. I can see staying in the gym, all of the time in Oklahoma, but kids are not staying in the gym, even those that are like top level athletes here in LA, they're not doing that. So I think that's something I would like to see, some self-motivation tips, how these kids can be motivated and block out the distractions, because I know that's an issue here in LA.
I'll just say quickly to interject to that. That's where the 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. workouts come when everybody else is still asleep, and you haven't done anything during the day. Everybody else is still in the bed doing whatever, and you're up working on your craft when nobody else is. That's self-motivation. That's self-discipline. That's putting in your time. Now, the key to that is what type of, we always talk about it's not just time in the gym, it's quality time in the gym. When you get up and you're in that gym, you don't need to just be shooting around and not breaking a sweat being there 2 hours. You need to be working on game speed stuff That includes, even in football, are you doing things in the proper rhythm and the proper cadence? Are you working on those explosive moves that you would be doing in a game? And that is huge. It's huge, and obviously you don't want to overtrain yourself. But if you can pick a time of the day that those distractions that you're talking about are not, because it's early in the morning, then do that. Whatever, you're just picking a different time of the day. You're still putting in your work, and it doesn't have to be all day. I always tell my kids, I'd rather you go in the gym and shoot 30 minutes, 300 game speed shots. And that is possible to do that. We got a thing called the gun, rather than be in the gym 3 hours and never break a sweat. Go in there for 30 minutes before school and from 6 to 6:30 and work on your shot. And then at 6:30 comes, go back to the dorms, because we live in a boarding school. Take your shower and be ready to go and go get breakfast and everything. By 8 o'clock, you're in class and you've done what you needed to do for the day.
Well, it's awesome words of advice, Coach Kelly. And I think the irony is the shirt that I'm wearing tonight,
Yeah.
if you can see it, is somebody that lived by those words that you talked about.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I have a friend that used to, she used to run Carl's Jr. franchises all over California and out in Newport Beach where Kobe lived. She said Kobe would come into Carl's Jr. at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting something because he's working out. He wasn't getting burgers and all of that stuff, but whatever he's getting, he's working out at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, he switched to what they call that metaphasic sleep schedule, where he only took 2 naps a day of about 20 to 30 minutes and actually only slept 2 to 4 hours a day so that he could work. And then the second thing about that is he repeated the same motion over and over and over and over and over. Never got tired of it, and it became a reaction in the game.
Wow.
Coach Kelly froze on. I don't know what happened. Well, awesome words. Can you hear us, Coach?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Awesome words, and thank you, Coach. We're gonna bring Coach Mark in, and Coach Mark.
There you are.
Okay, now we can see you, but we can't hear you.
Hold on.
It's always something, huh?
Yes, we can hear you now. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Good. I was in the office, in the car and everything, so I apologize for earlier.
Well, no problem. That means that instead of having 5 minutes, you only have 2 minutes.
Quick and fast.
All right. Well, what would you like us to know about you? Tell us about the school, what you coach, and a little bit about your coaching career.
Yeah, so I'm head women's basketball coach at the University of Mary Hardin Bay. We're an NCAA Division III school, but we're more along the lines of how, I know everyone thinks Division III, they think no athletic scholarships, things like that, and we're kind of almost more towards the side of like an Ivy League athletic program. Harvard, you got academic, you got FAFSA and things like that, but there's also other scholarships and grants very similar to what a Princeton or a Harvard or a Penn are putting in and stuff. And so I just finished my 6th year here. Took the job after being on the men's side for 13 years and spending some time in the NBA's developmental league. I was an assistant men's basketball coach at Valparaiso University in Valparaiso, Indiana. We were kind of Gonzaga before Gonzaga. AA tournaments, things like that. And then 2003, came down with Coach Scott Drew to take over the Baylor program, and was there for a period of time, and then spent a year coaching with Del Harris in the NBA's developmental league, and then took over the UMHB women's basketball program. And like I said, been here for 6 years now, and really took a program that didn't have a whole lot of tradition, really just wasn't a very strong program. In 6 years, we've been to 2 Sweet 16s. We've won back-to-back conference championships.
Nice.
As high as number 5 in the country. won 3 conference division titles, and obviously we've had quite a few player accolades, all regions, all players. Best
Well,
thing, located basically in between Waco, Texas, and Texas. So very accessible and very easy to get to. Great facilities. I will tell you this, being for as long as I was, and especially being at mid-major like Valparaiso University, we probably have more resources, better facilities than what we even had at Valpo. And so it's a very unique and different situation than what most people kind of, when they hear Division III, what they kind of really think. It's really completely opposite of that type of thinking.
well, that's awesome. You mentioned that you coach women's now, but you have coached men in the past. What's the major difference between coaching, the different sexes?
I will tell you this. The biggest thing is guys want to play pickup ball all day long. The biggest thing is and I was in development when I was at and I will tell you, it was always like trying to pull teeth to get 45-minute. They just want to play. Coaching women, there's the biggest thing. They want to truly, not that guys don't want to get better. They just feel playing pickup is their way of getting better. Girls want to get better, and I feel like they want a purpose of what they're doing and so forth. And so they're a little bit more dialed into the individual development than some of the guys that I
That sounds about right. So the women, in other words, seem to be a little bit more focused.
Yeah. And they like playing open gym, but guys, they want to get that done so they can start.
Coach, what do you think about the players now being able to make money off of their image and likeness?
I think it's a great thing because I know, especially being on the NCAA Division III level, I know I've had players in the past that had different things, whether they were super involved in maybe a product, something that they kind of had to give up, but they did it during high school. And I feel like if you have the ability, and I think everyone kind of has said, okay, well, now they're going to get a sponsor or Adidas or different avenues that a lot of these kids do, especially social media platforms, YouTube, things like that they could make money doing. It doesn't have to always necessarily be a commercial type or with a company or an organization. And I think that if they have the ability to do that and they have the willingness to do it, they should have that. They should be no different than anybody else. And so I'm excited because it gives them some opportunity. I think it gives them some avenue. I think it comes towards maybe something that they want to do, or maybe another path that they could be.
All right, Coach. Well, we're catching actually every other word. At least I am. But Coach Mark, we definitely appreciate you coming on tonight. I am like 15 minutes late for a fitness class, and I'm going to get in trouble again. I've gotten in trouble 4 weeks in a row. And we talk about these things on live TV, y'all. So, but Coach, how can people get in touch with you? We just got a comment. We're excited about our athletes being able to capitalize with their name, image, and likeness. I support that 100% as well.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great thing. Coach, what parting words? Give some words of encouragement to a young lady, young man, a young student athlete that may be struggling, as I alluded to Coach Kelly, coming out of pandemic and they're finding it difficult to find that self-motivation. Yeah. What words of encouragement would you give?
I think the biggest thing is, especially coaching, having a season where we went through it and recruiting players that have gone through it. I think the biggest thing is you got to stay focused at the task at hand. And know distractions and the concern get to you. I think you just got to stay focused on your task at hand, getting out there, like what Coach Kelly said, and discipline your craft, continue to work on your craft, and don't listen to so much to the noise, but stay more in tune with what you want to do and what you need to do to be the best that you can be as a student athlete. And really, it's just staying focused on that and knowing that, there's opportunities out there. There's going to be opportunities available, but just staying true to you, staying true to your craft, and just keep going forward where you go about improving as a student athlete.
Awesome words of advice.
Well, Coach, how can people get in contact with you if they're interested in reaching out to you and maybe interested in playing for you? How can they reach you?
Nope, that's a great question. And the best thing is all my email and cell phone is on our website, www.umhb.edu. They can also email me, and that's at morefid@umhb.edu. So all the contact information on the site, just go to basketball, or you can just directly email me if you're a player that student athlete that's out there recognized, trying to market and get your game out there. The one thing is we look at all emails, we look at all film, so we're not like some coaches where we don't leave any stone unturned. And so we always look into any player that reaches out to us, look into their game and look into them and try to do a little bit of homework and background.
All right. We have a couple of comments, Coach. One, stay in your lane and hone your craft. Great advice. Another comment, good information, awesome interview. So thank you, Coach. Thank you from Waco, Texas, or somewhere in Waco, Texas.
Lorena, Texas. Yes, right outside of Waco.
About around Waco, but it's all Waco, Texas. So.
Awesome.
All right,
thank you, Coach Mark.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Well, Kandi, we didn't hit the goal, but
we did got an awesome show, and get some great information. Talked to a couple of great people, so I'm happy.
And I just want to say, definitely, Coach Mark, Braylon, Coach Kelly. We're getting, the information that's coming out from this show is priceless.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of tools to help these athletes. From the professionals or from those people who you're trying to impress, they're giving you the keys to the kingdom, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Great information. Pay attention and use that to your advantage.
Well, it's another great show. And I would let me say, in a few days, we will be celebrating my lovely co-host's birthday.
We will. It's almost, that's right. It's almost Leo season. I'm excited. I've got a birthday coming up on the 31st of this month. And I'll be celebrating pretty soon.
So everybody, we're going to set up a special cash app.
Listen, that would be great. That's fine.
We want to bless Kandi for her birthday. I'm going to set a goal, and I'm serious. Y'all watching, y'all fans of the show. I see we got people that are staying with us. I'm going to be setting up a cash app. It's going to be for Kandi's birthday.
Yes.
And there's a certain amount I want to show her that you guys love her.
That is so sweet of you. Thank you.
We're going to bless Kandi on her birthday.
Sounds good to me.
So, with that being said, I am Coach Thomas.
And I'm Kandi Knight. And thanks again for tuning in to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. We'll see you next Thursday.
Fight on. And also, rest in heaven, Kobe and Gigi Bryant.
Absolutely. Have a good night.